ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Let's Roleplay Fallout 3. In the last one, we finally got to work on Project Purity, located in the Jefferson Memorial, which is no longer a fast travelable location. Unfortunately, just as we were getting ready to get things started, the Enclave returned, locking the facility down, raiding it with power armor clad soldiers, and holding our father and several scientists hostage in the Project Purity main chamber. After refusing to cooperate, Dad flooded the chamber with radiation, and we evacuated what few personnel we could make through the sewers here to the Citadel, the stronghold of the Brotherhood of Steel. Unfortunately, not even guards have made it. And Dr. Lee has gone elsewhere to rest and recuperate. We've met with Elder Lyons, father of Sarah Lyons, leader of the Lyons Pride. And now, we're left to our own devices to ask Scribe Rothschild for pre-war computer access, but we also need to speak with another scribe located in the A circle, which is here, about the hollow tags we've been picking up.
What is it?
The
I
Brotherhood
heard
is
Elder
at your
Lyons
service.
talking to Rothschild. Sounds like even he's worried.
Sentinel Lyons.
What aid can I offer you, outsider?
Outsider. Okay, like we haven't fought side by side. Alright,
In
fine.
your father's name, I bid you farewell.
Thank you. The Great Hall.
Oh, Initiate, you've got a lot of nerve to interrupt. Oh, my apologies, stranger. I thought you were one of these worthless initiates. I swear these kids would be lost without me here to powder their asses.
I found a Brotherhood holotag. What should I do with it?
Scribe Jameson. She's our keeper of the scrolls. She'll want to know what you found.
Absolutely. Thank you. Where can I find
She
her?
spends most of her time in the archives. You'll find them in A-Ring, near the Great Hall.
So, what do you do here, Paladin Gunny?
I am charged with the duty of turning these maggots into brothers of steel. With the threat of the Enclave, they're likely going to be pressed into service before they've taken the oath. So I've got a lot of work to do.
Well, speaking of the Enclave, any thoughts?
Killing unarmed civilians makes me sick. Come over here. Try fighting someone who shoots back. Fucking cowards.
Hoorah. What about super
Why do you
mutants?
think I ride these initiates so hard? I make training hell so fighting those uglies won't be.
I like the way you think. Well, thank
If
you.
you'll excuse me, I need to go show these fish how to shoot straight.
Hail. Hail.
Hail.
to you. By the traction of hospitality and on the word of Elder Lyons, I welcome you to the Citadel. I am Star Paladin Cross, Keeper of the Arm, and Seneschal to Elder Lyons. And I am honored to say I was acquainted with your father. Now, what may I do to help you?
You knew my father?
I did, and you as well. Long ago, I helped guard the water purifier against the super mutant horde. When your father left, I escorted the two of you to Megaton. He was a noble man. I was saddened to hear of his passing. But from what I've heard, he died with honor. He died for you. I only pray that my own death has such meaning.
I loved him very much, and I'll never forget him.
And so our deeds are carried on through our sons and our daughters. Continue to remember him fondly. Continue to tell his story. And continue to do his work. Through you, he shall carry on. But now I must ask you a difficult question. if I have your leave to do so.
By all means, ask.
I escorted your father across the wastes. It was the best I could contribute to his efforts to restore fresh water to the people. I would like the honor of escorting you in your journey to complete his work.
What about the Enclave?
As a Star Paladin, I answer only to Elder Lyons. He has given me leave to pursue the restoration of Project Purity, as I see fit. By aiding you in your travels, I shall fulfill that mission as best I am capable.
Well, I would be honored, Star Paladin Cross.
Then I shall follow your lead and submit to your command. As James's child, I know I don't need to explain, but I am not your servant. If I do not like the path your actions take, I will return here. Now, let us go forward. Crush the Enclave and fulfill your father's mission. There is a foul stench on the wind. Let us not tarry for long.
Wow. Okay, let's go.
Lead the way.
Thank you.
You honor us with your presence here.
Captain Gallows.
Yes?
You don't say much, do you?
No, I don't. What do you want?
Any thoughts on the
They're
Enclave?
in. They're born, they live, they die. End of story.
Any thoughts about the super mutants?
Shoot them, they die. Stab them, they die. Strangle them, they die.
Well, what can you tell me about the Lion's Pride?
Sarah appreciates my methods. I fill a role no one else can.
Okay, well, what's your specialty exactly?
Spec Ops. Let's leave it at that.
Left.
So we part.
And so we do.
The Brotherhood is at your service.
Night, Captain Dusk.
Hello, stranger. I am Knight Captain Dusk, in service of Steel. If you require anything, simply ask.
So what's your story?
My story? I blow the head off anything more than 200 meters downrange. I'm the best shot in the Brotherhood of Steel, bar none. Not even Colvin can match my kill count. That's my story.
That's impressive. The competition must be stiff.
Damn right it is. Last time I checked, it wasn't called the Sisterhood of Steel. Hell, even Sarah has to prove herself to the knuckle draggers. Every once in a while, we have to show them what's what.
Absolutely. What do you think about Gallows?
I know. I should take faith in my brother. But he disappears for days out into the wastes. He comes back without a word. He only reports to Sentinel Lions, and he doesn't tell the rest of us what he's up to. I can't trust a soldier like that. The other guys, they think it's a joke. Glade's even got a betting pool going to find out Gallows' real name. A betting pool, honestly.
Anything about the, any thoughts on the Enclave?
Honestly, I can't wait to see if one of those helmets can stop a hollow point round at 100 yards. I'm thinking, not.
Oh, what about the super mutant
I
threat?
can tell you that those heavily armored ones, the Masters, they favor heavy weapons. Miniguns and missile launchers. My recommendation? Headshot from a distance. Avoid the meat grinder.
Makes sense. Well, what about the Lion's Pride itself?
We're the most elite tactical unit ever assembled in the Brotherhood of Steel. Here or anywhere else. Hell, ain't nothing Sarah's Cubs can't handle.
And what do you do?
I'm a sniper with the Pride. Put any muty bastard within 1 mile of me and my rifle, and, well, pack it up, troops. Fight's over. Colvin thinks he's a better shot. Man's delusional.
I understand. Well, thank you. I've got to go.
Stick to the shadows.
I was trying to think that might be a good idea.
Welcome.
Need something, friend?
The courtyard. The den.
Hey,
Kodiak.
name's Greg. Greg Bear. Most of the guys just call me Kodiak. Heard about that mess over at the Purifier. Don't you worry. You're safe here.
How'd you end up in the Brotherhood?
Now that's a story. The only reason I'm here is because of Elder Lyons. You see, I grew up in the pit. Don't suppose you ever been there, huh? It's about 500 clicks to the northwest. Place is a nightmare. 3 irradiated rivers coming together. People there were not well. But the Brotherhood of Steel came down on the place with a righteous hammer. They called it the Scourge.
Yeah, I've been to the pit, actually. They talked about the Scourge. What was it from the Brotherhood's perspective?
It was a Brotherhood operation. They marched in and swept the place clean. Most of the people there were half mutated, cancerous, vile things. And these people, great gangs, torture squads. It was pure chaos there. The Scourge is the best thing that could have happened to it. This was way back, before the Citadel was fortified. Part of the early recon after the Brotherhood first arrived in this area. One night, a squad of brothers led by Paladin Lions swept into the city from over Mount Wash, tearing apart anyone who stood against them. They were completely outnumbered, and still they razed that place to the ground.
How did you escape?
As they swept through, the Brotherhood policed up every non-mutie child they could find. Turns out there weren't that many. Me and maybe 20 others. The younger we were, the less of a chance that we were mutated. It was ugly work, no doubt, but it had to be done. I'll never forget the sight of the Brotherhood of Steel breaching the breast of the mountain at dawn.
How did you end up back here?
Elder Lyons brought us all back to the Citadel. He said it was the safest place he knew of. This place was still being converted. He put us in as initiates and kept a watchful eye over us. He was tough, but he taught us to stay alive. The man's like a father to me.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, Kodiak.
Now, the amazing thing is Elder Lyons. He risked everything. Went in outmanned and outgunned. I'll never be able to thank him enough. So I do my best to serve the Brotherhood. I know that's what he really wants. In time, I'm sure you'll understand.
So what's with the Gallows?
Gallows? He's not a bad guy, truth be told. He just doesn't talk much. And if it ain't soldiering, that boy has no time for it. Tell you what, though, he's the meanest son of a bitch around here. All business. The rest of us, we get our R&R in, not Gallows. There's even a betting pool on who can find out his real name. Talk to Glade about it. He'll tell you.
Okay. Any thoughts on the Enclave?
There's meat under that armor, and meat can be ground.
Well, what about the super mutants? That's tough meat.
Hell, I've killed more of those yellow Frankensteins than any other member of the Pride. Except maybe Gallows, those crazy solo night ops of his.
Okay, well, what can you tell me about the Lion's
Now,
Pride?
see, the Brotherhood's one thing, but the Pride, best of the best. Every damn one of us. Handpicked by Sentinel Lyons herself.
And what is your combat specialization in the Pride?
Hell, I do it all. Recon, demolition, tactical assault. Guess you could say I'm the Pride's jack of all trades.
Good to hear it, but I gotta go.
Never back down.
Never once. The Den, huh?
Glad to see you and that egghead Lee made it here in one piece. I heard what happened to that purifier. Hell of a thing.
Yeah, I hear that you're the guy to talk to about Gallows.
Figure out his name yet? Yeah, I thought not.
Yeah, well, any thoughts on the Enclave?
Man, I don't know. Fighting uglies is one thing, but we've never gone up against anyone that well trained or organized. Even their tech is better. Don't get me wrong, the Pride's in it to win it. And I'll go down shooting if I have to. I just hope I don't have to.
Hopefully we don't. So, what do you think about the super mutants?
Man, nothing dies like an ugly. I once saw Colvin snipe the leg off one at 200 yards. Thing very pirouetted like a figure skater.
Nice. So what can you tell me about the Pride?
You, my friend, are talking about the most elite fighting force ever assembled within the Brotherhood of Steel. Each of us was handpicked by Sentinel Alliance herself. You can't even realize what an honor that is. Sarah defines combat excellence.
Nice. So what's your job?
Heavy weapons, miniguns, missile launchers. If it's bigger than a human and goes boom, I'm all over it.
Nice. Alright. Gotta go.
Steel be with you.
Hey, what aid can I offer you, outsider?
Hey, Vargas.
Hey,
Archives.
What I wouldn't do to get my hands on one of those Enclave vertebrates. Well, hail, outsider. I am Scribe Jameson. Word of your ordeal has spread. I am truly sorry for the loss of your father. But if I can help you in any way, please let me know.
Well, I have some questions about the Brotherhood.
One of my favorite subjects, of course. What would you like to know?
What does the Brotherhood believe in?
We believe in technology, in the triumph of the creations of the ancients, over the horrors and evils of the wasteland. We believe in trust. Trust in technology. Trust in our fellow brothers. Trust in our elders. And we believe in victory. Our forces have dwindled, but still, we fight on. Super Mutant, Enclave, it matters not. Surrender is not an option.
And who are the members of the Brotherhood?
Elder Lyons leads us. Star Paladin Cross is his seneschal. Sentinel Lyons, the Elder's daughter, commands the Lion's Pride, our elite combat squad. The Paladins lead the Knights. The Knights are the core of the Brotherhood. They scour the waste to eliminate evil and recover technology. Scribe Rothschild oversees the scribes in their duties to seek knowledge and restore the technology the Brotherhood has acquired.
And what about the Brotherhood's history in this area?
We first arrived in the capital wasteland in 2255. In those first couple of years, we discovered the Citadel, super mutants, and Project Purity. The Purifier. What an undertaking. The work your father and his team did was amazing. The Brotherhood helped protect them, you know, at least for a little while. But we were stretched thin as it was, even back then. We had to pull our forces out. When we did, the place was overrun. I imagine that's when your father left. I'm sorry. I wish things had turned out differently.
So do I. That's all I needed to know.
Very well.
I did find a Brotherhood holotag. What should I do with it?
You have? Oh my. This brings to light a sad affair for the Brotherhood. But perhaps it is something that you can assist us with. If you have the time, I have an offer for you.
Sure.
Good. As I'm sure you've noticed, the Brotherhood operates all over the DC ruins, often detached from the main base here at the Citadel. We're short on communication equipment, so many of the groups in the field operate as independent cells, without standing orders. Sometimes, I'm afraid that their missions end in their deaths. As Keeper of the Scrolls, it's my charge to write of each fallen brother's deeds.
And without radio equipment, you can't keep track of them.
Exactly. A brother fallen in the field may have no one to carry word of his death back to me. In calmer times, we could send detachments and messengers to learn their fates. But with our manpower stretched thin, we have no such luxury. Which is why I must now ask you for your help. Each brother wears a holotag like the one you found. Should you find any of the fallen brethren in the field, I ask that you return their tags to me, so that I might record their deeds in the scrolls.
Sure. And what are the scrolls that you're mentioning?
Scrolls are kept by the head librarian of each Brotherhood bunker. The scrolls are a record of the Brotherhood itself. Into each scroll is written the name and deeds of each of our brothers. Battles, what technology is recovered, when he was promoted, everything. The last entry for each brother is that brother's death. It is important, as the way a man dies is just as important as the manner in which he lives. And so, each man who nobly serves the Brotherhood ascends into our history, to be remembered by those who come after him.
And I can find these holotags just around the necks of the fallen brothers?
They are on our fallen brothers, throughout the DC ruins. However, I can't give you a full report on the locations of all of our operations. As I said, many of the units in the field operate independently, sometimes not reporting into the Citadel for weeks or months.
Okay, and what exactly is the reward?
We have access to a great deal of technology, and because of that, there are a number of things that we can continue to produce. I will be able to offer you caps for the tags you bring me, but from time to time, I will be able to give you something a bit more interesting.
Okay. Tell me a bit about the scribes.
There are a number of orders within the scribes, each dedicated to a specific area of research.
And the orders?
The Order of the Sword is responsible for weapons research and development. Guns, ammunition, anything of an offensive nature. Defensive research is done by the Order of the Shield. Power armor, defensive structures, anything that is intended to protect us. The Order of the Quill preserves the written knowledge of the ancients, seeking out all manner of books and holotapes.
And what order are you a part of? The Quill?
Actually, I am Proctor of the Order of the Quill. I oversee the archives and library here in the Citadel. We are dedicated to preserving the history of the Brotherhood, as well as unearthing the secrets of the pre-war civilizations. We have a single field associate, Scribe Yearly. She operates out of the former Library of Congress to the northeast.
Oh, yes. That's all I needed about that.
Very well.
Yeah, any thoughts on the
Quite a
Enclave?
few. But most are distinctly unladylike and unworthy of discussion. I will tell you that the Brotherhood has encountered the Enclave before, and their motives were just as sinister then as they are now.
Really? And anything on the super mutant threat?
The Brotherhood has been battling super mutants for decades. First out west, then in Chicago, now here. But this group of super mutants is different somehow. Physically, yes, but mentally as well. If we knew where they came from, we'd know why.
Alright. Now, holotags. Here you are.
Have you? It saddens me to hear of my fallen brethren, but their names and deeds shall be records. Tell me, how many have you found?
Take all of them that I have.
Their names shall be written into the scrolls, to be remembered forever. As for you, here's your reward. Use it well and in good health.
600 caps. Wow. Thank
I
you.
look forward to our next meeting.
Ditto.
Welcome. The Brotherhood is at your service.
The barracks. Welcome, brother. The Enclave Tactical Assessment. Weapons, plasma base, capable of molecular destabilization, armor, advanced power armor Mark II, transportation vertibirds. Tactical assessment. The Enclave forces that have occupied Project Purity are nearly identical to those encountered on the West Coast in the year 2241. Threat potential severe. GNR Battle After Action Report. It is the opinion of Sentinel Lions that the recent supermutant attack on GNR was not indicative of a larger assault, as was originally thought. Instead, the forces that attacked the radio station were probably en route to the mall to reinforce their own kind in a prolonged battle against the mercenaries of Talon Company. General Robot Diagnostics updated. Scribe Rothschild has completed a new full diagnostic of the robot. Here are those results. Mobility 0%. Navigation translation 0%. Internal processors 87%. Weapon system 60%. Power management 3%. Voice module 100%. It is the assessment of Scribe Rothschild that once the power management issues are solved, mobility and navigation translation will jump to at least 50%, well within acceptable operating capacity. GNR Soldier Rotation. Due to the increased super mutant activity in the vicinity of GNR and the importance of that outpost, all Knights and Paladins can expect to be added to the patrol rotation in that area. See your squad leaders for more information. Notice. Redden funeral cancelled. Due to certain unexpected tactical developments, funeral services for Initiate Redding have been cancelled. A memorial service will be scheduled sometime in the future, date to be determined. That's a shame. That's nearly a month ago. Citadel Personnel Terminal. GNR Soldier Rotation. Yes. Important. Squire Maxon Bailey access. By order of Elder Lions, Squire Maxon is not to be given unsupervised access to the Bailey while live fire practice is in effect. Lion's Pride recruiting. Due to the tragic death of Initiate Redden, Lion's Pride now has one opening, effective immediately. If you can't shoot an ugly from 150 yards blindfolded, don't waste my time. Wow. That's the barracks. Sawbones.
State the nature of the medical emergency.
Initiate triage protocol.
Medical procedures initiated. Administering treatment. Error.
Ow! That hurt. You're supposed to be a healing
There's been
robot.
an error in the medical subsystem. Please run a level 2 diagnostic.
Well, fine. Run a level 2 diagnostic on the medical subsystems.
Command accepted. Beginning level 2 systems diagnostic. Please stand by. Diagnostic complete. Results indicate a level 7 degradation in...
Well, close the neural pathway and reroute remaining
Neural
functions.
pathway 0x63A82 rerouted through neural pathway 0x374E82. Stand by. Full motor functions restored. Diagnostic reveals no critical failures. Asshole.
Okay, initiate triage
Medical
protocol.
procedures initiated. Administering treatment. Please stand still. Medical procedure complete. Further instructions?
No, thank you.
Acknowledged. Hitting the rack.
So what's the latest report?
It appears the Enclave troops have moved beyond the Purifier into the surrounding wasteland region. No telling how far they might spread.
See you. Hey, over.
Well, what aid can I offer you, outsider?
Hello. You must have seen a lot of things. What's been going on?
What's been going on? Well, let's see. For years, we've been draining our resources defending the ungrateful residents of this no-man's land. Most of my best friends have either been ripped apart by super mutants or left to join the outcasts. And now an enemy we faced more than 30 years ago has resurfaced, and their tech is still better than ours. What's been going on with you?
Ooh, never mind.
Of course.
Hail to you, stranger. I am Squire Maxon, loyal servant of steel.
It is an honor to make your acquaintance.
The honor is all mine, Squire.
Oh, well, thank you. Your words are very kind. Kinder than those I usually hear. Is there something I can help you with?
Aren't you a little young for all this?
Oh. Well, you see, I am descended from the great Roger Maxon, founder of our order. I am the last of his line. They say my soul was forged from eternal steel, but I don't believe that. I'm really just a normal boy. I was sent to the Citadel many years ago to be fostered by Elder Lions. But that was before the Western Elders lost faith in the Elder. I really don't know if I'll ever get home, but, well, I kind of like it here. Sentinel Lions has been very kind to me. She's taught me so much.
And what do you think of the Enclave then, Squire Max?
You're asking me what I think about the Enclave? Well, the Brotherhood of Steel has actually faced the Enclave before. Back west. More than 30 years ago, according to our chronicles. Judging from those records, I say their soldiers are outfitted in advanced power armor Mark II. It's pretty strong. Better than our power armor. And some of their technology is amazing. Vertibirds, plasma weapons that can turn a man to goo. Does that help?
It does, thank you. I don't suppose you know anything about the super mutants, do you?
Oh yes. I've studied them quite a bit since I've been here. They're not all the same, you know. Besides the regular ones. There are also brutes. And after them, the masters. They're really tough. But the worst of all? The behemoth. He's a giant. I saw one once, outside the Citadel walls. So scary. The super mutants are all over the city ruins. But Elder Lions doesn't actually think they're from there, or we would have found their home by now. It kind of seems like they're looking for something, but we're not really sure what that is.
Huh. Now, they don't actually make you fight, do they?
No. But I could. I know I'm ready. I mean, it would be scary, but it's not fair that I have to sit inside while the knights go on patrol. I did go out one time, you know. Sarah, Sentinel Lions took me out, just to show me. I killed a super mutant too, I swear. I also sort of shot Sarah, but just a little. It was just a flesh wound.
Well, I hope that you take that flesh wound very seriously. You'll be alright. I gotta go, though.
Very well.
Someone else. Thanks for...
Still be with you.
Oh, anytime. Step lively, Squire. Step lively.
Hi, Squire Maxon. How's the best kid in the Citadel doing today? Diary entry 1. Stupid scribe Rothschild in his stupid lab. All I wanted to do was talk to the robot and see if he'd be my friend. So what if he can't walk? Yesterday, Sarah taught me how to kill a man by stabbing him in the kidneys. I think I'm in love. Story, the Guardians of Gillifrond. Whatever shall we do, Mr. Wallingsworth? Molly asked. Mother will be home shortly, and I've yet to clean my room. Heavens me, don't fret, Molly golly. We'll enlist a little help, that's all. Mr. Wallingsworth then waddled his little teddy bear body into the center of the room and called out in a voice both sweet and strong to those lying dormant on shelves in the toy box under the bed. Come now, you lot, Molly golly needs our help. And as we're her guardians, that means we all get cracking. Come on now, shake off those dust bunnies and hop to. There then rose a rustle and rumble from all corners of the room as rocking horse and railway car, bookend and baby doll, toy and game alike all blossomed into impossible life. Mr. Wallingsworth, but I never knew. I thought it was just you. Oh, this is just wonderful, Molly exclaimed. Wonderful? Bah, I was having a nice nap and a nice dream, and now you've gone and woken me up. And for what? Manual labor? That wasn't in the job description, Wallingsworth. This small, squeaky voice of dissent belonged to one Mousy McGuire, Molly's favorite stuffed animal, and one of the few companions granted the right to sleep on her bed. Oh, Mousy, you're alive. Molly ran to her bed and embraced the nonplussed plushie, squishing his body in a nearly stuffing, bursting bear hug. Ah, oh, all right, enough. You're crushing me. Molly released her hold and dropped Mousy back on the bed, feeling at once excited and immensely disappointed that her favorite stuffed toy had just come to life and seems to be a complete cretin. Now you listen here, McGuire, Wallingsworth said. Being guardians of dear Miss Molly Golly means we protect her in any way we can, even if that means unclogging the potty, or taking out the trash, or, yes, tidying up her room. And when the crawly creeps come, oh, and they will come, you'll get to do what was in your job description. You mark my words. Oh, jeez. Poem. Song of the Light Man. Tweedle dumpling, tweedle dare, curse the younglings if you care. For theirs is youth and joy and power, 5 made one in the light man's tower. And when they come, these 5 of sun, the light man's progeny have won. So sound the trumpets clear and sound, and think beyond the eastern shroud. Guns and Bullets. Vargas doesn't know. I've been reading his copy of Guns and Bullets, and I should probably keep it that way. I mean, it's right there under his bunk in the den. What did he expect? Well, that makes sense. Oh, but we've been spending too much time. We need to go find Scribe Rothschild. Oh, Garza. Is that you?
What do you need?
Oh, you made it.
We both know that's not an option.
We've been over this. A slight modification to one system and all the subroutines go haywire. Don't worry, I'm on it.
I come to you for results, not excuses, Rothschild. That robot could mean the difference between victory or defeat against the Enclave.
Oh, very well. Now please. A giant robot to fix, Hail.
As you were.
Welcome. May I start by saying that I am sorry for your loss. I was acquainted with your father many years ago. The world has lost one of its few remaining visionaries.
Well, thank you for your sympathy.
Think nothing of it. Now, Dr. Lee has explained your predicament. You need to locate some Vault-Tec equipment?
Yes. My father was looking for something called a GEC.
A GEC? Goodness, no. Certainly not. I must say that there are some who doubt such a device really exists, let alone works. If, however, you share your father's determination, I may be able to assist you in locating one.
So you do know how to find one?
Possibly. I'm afraid I won't be able to assist you directly. The news Dr. Lee has brought will require me to be elsewhere. I can, however, give you access to an old pre-war computer from Vault-Tec. It may have the information you need.
You'll find the terminal in the archives in the A-Ring.
Thank you for the help.
You're welcome. If you require further assistance, I may be able to help.
Vigilance is necessary in this location. Be on your guard, my friend.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Lead the way.
What was the result of the latest scan?
Hail.
Hail. Maxon Archive Terminal. Okay. Maxon Family Dossier. Roger Maxon. Born, not available, died in 2135. Second in command of the security team stationed at the facility, later relocated to the Mariposa military base. Assumed command after nervous breakdown of security team leader Colonel Robert Spindell. Executed scientists after learning of their research into the Forced Evolutionary Virus, or FEV. Deserted from military just before the war, Maxon ordered the families of all base personnel brought inside the facility, thereby sparing their lives. Led survivors in their exodus to the Lost Hills bunker. Maxon's wife was killed on the journey. At Lost Hills, Roger Maxon formed the Brotherhood of Steel as the organization's first High Elder. He formed the orders of Paladins, Knights, and Scribes. Maxon II. Born, not available, teenage of unspecified age in 2077. Died in 2155. Took over command of the Brotherhood of Steel as High Elder in 2135 when his father, Roger Maxon, died of cancer. In 2155, while hunting down a group of raiders known as the Vipers, Maxon, who was unhelmeted at the time, was grazed in the head by an arrow. A deadly viper poison killed him within hours. John Maxon. Born in 2097, son of Maxon II and the grandson of Roger Maxon. A gifted soldier, John Maxon was promoted to the rank of Paladin at age 38 in the year 2135. Soon after, he was promoted once more to head Paladin. In 2155, Maxon was promoted to the illustrious position of High Elder when his father, Maxon II, was killed in a glorious battle with the raiders known as the Vipers. Records indicate John Maxon had some dealings with a mysterious figure identified only as the Vault Dweller in the year 2162 at the age of 65. New entry, Scribe Arthur Maxon. Born in 2267, died. Only son of Jonathan and Jessica, both deceased. Last of the Maxon bloodline. As an infant, sent to the Citadel to be fostered by Elder Owen Lyons, the reason for this decision was twofold. 1. Recent internal conflict amongst the Western Brotherhood of Steel created an unsafe environment for the child. It was believed that the Citadel, despite being located in hostile territory, would increase his probability of survival. 2. Elder Lyons at that time was in high favor with the Western Elders, and deemed a perfect candidate to provide care and training to the Squire. Recent events have led to a lack of communication with the Western Elders. As a result, Squire Maxon will remain at the Citadel indefinitely. State of Maxon. The state of Maxon in the New California Republic was built in close proximity to the Lost Hills bunker and enjoyed the protection of the Brotherhood of Steel. No additional information is available at this time. The Diary of Roger Maxon, Volume 1. Wow. October 10th, 2077. I, Roger Maxon, Captain, serial number 072389. I started this log because it doesn't look good for any of us, and I'd like for people to know what really happened here. All hell broke loose when we finally discovered what those scientist bastards were up to. The Colonel has locked himself in his office and seems to be having some sort of breakdown. The men are screaming for blood. They're looking to me for answers, and I'm not sure what to do. Someone has to do something, though, before this place sinks into an anarchistic bloodbath. October the 12th. Every time we get a report from higher up, things get worse. The war is going in a very bad direction, and this place is about to go into a full mutiny, with all the chaos that entails. I stopped one of the men from executing a scientist today, and demanded that we interrogate them to find out what their orders were. October 13th. I killed a man today. I was interrogating Chief Scientist Anderson, and he was giving me the full details of their inhuman experiments. He said his orders came from the government, but I didn't buy it. He started screaming about how he was following orders, how he was a military man, and I just shot him. I thought myself it was to keep him from causing a full mutiny among the men, but I'm not so sure. October 15th. I I tried again to speak to the colonel through the door, but he seems to have completely lost touch with reality. I broke down the door with several of the men just in time to watch him blow his head off. Right before he pulled the trigger, he said he was sorry. By killing the egghead, I seem to have confirmed my position as leader of the men. They follow me without question now. The interrogations invariably end up being executions. Shellman held out the longest, but the end result was the same. Our arguments about her orders were a bit too specific to be completely made up. I'm getting a real bad feeling in my gut about how this is all going to end up. I don't even lie to myself anymore about my reasons for executing the scientists. I finally replied to the outside world over our radio. I don't know why they never sent anyone here to see what was happening when we stopped responding to their transmissions. It doesn't make any sense. Well, they'll come now. I declared ourselves seceded from the Union. They remember Jefferson Davis. What will history say about me? Interesting. Volume 2. October 22nd. What the hell is going on? We declare ourselves to be in full desertion from the army and no longer under the government's command, and what happens? Nothing. Something bad is coming down. I can't believe those bastards finally did it. Damn them all to hell. They finally let the A-bombs fly. We were right in the middle of trying to pry the real story out of Von Felden when we completely lost contact. I have a feeling the research center was hit hard. I don't know why, I just caught a gut feeling. It seems inconceivable that we were not targeted. I'm sure China will make up for that oversight real soon. Luckily, we had moved our families from outside into the facility the day before yesterday. We do not yet know if the fallout has reached this area. Sergeant Plattner volunteered to go outside today to take specific readings on the atmosphere. It seems the radiation has not spread this far. Since he was wearing his power armor, there was no threat to him from radiation, but if he had been exposed, he would have had to be exiled. We don't have adequate decontamination facilities here. I convinced the men that we should bury the scientists. I don't know why. Perhaps it was to ease my conscience. I finally started to believe their stories when the last one was dying. My God, what have I become? We're leaving this godforsaken place today. I'm leading the exodus to the old government bunker at Lost Hills. I'm leaving this log behind to be buried where this place goes in the next exchange. Who knows? Maybe someone will find it someday. And that is the Diary of Roger Maxson. Interesting. Here's the Vault-Tec terminal Rothschild was talking about. Vault-Tec Administration System Records Database 923A. Network offline. Please check your local connection. DC area vault listings. Vault 76. That's not proper. Vault 76 is one of our 17 control vaults. It will operate exactly according to the plan dictated in the marketing material produced by Vault-Tec and precisely to resident expectations. This vault will open automatically after a period of 20 years, and the residents will be pushed back into the open world for study in comparison to the other experiments. Wow. Yeah. Vault 76, located in West Virginia. Interesting. Project goals. Access restricted. Fair. Vault 87. Equipment issuances. Redacted. Okay. Stasis chamber. Plasma containment fields. A GEC. Personnel assignments. Corrupted. Project goals. Restricted. Vault 92. We know a little bit about this one. Personnel assignments. Corrupted. Project goals. Restricted. Vault 101. Equipment issuances. Personnel assignments. Project goals. Restricted. Vault 106. Dr. Albert Lyris. This information has been redacted at the request of Dr. Albert Lyris of the Psychological Research Department and Chief Overseer of the Vault 106 project. All inquiries into the goals and research methods of Vault 106 are to be directed through his office. Vault 108. Steam whistle. Note from admin. We are aware that the steam whistle is only sufficient to power this project partially. Please do not file any further reports on this issue. Do not stock with standard equipment. Overseer Brody Jones, Chief of Staff Zachary Jameson, Chief of Security Jarek Maddox, Morale Officer Nathan Oregon. Researcher note, all standard positions have been intentionally left unfilled and will be assigned by the Overseer according to the Vault 108 protocols. According to the pre-assignment medical tests, Mr. Jones has a genetic disposition for a rare terminal strain of cancer, which should ideally cause him to expire within 40 months of the project's inception. These two events should combine to allow a proper catalyst that allows this project to continue as planned. Vault 112, Brawn. VR pods. Yes. Dr. Stanislaus Braun. Due to the nature of the project in Vault 112 and the highly automated systems designed to support it, the Vault requires only a single administrator. Yes. Interesting. Vault Tech personnel assignments and order requisition forms. Nothing. Very strange. Start now.
Good, sir.
Interesting. I feel like we've barely done anything. The whole episode's been exposition. Isn't that right? Though, we have learned quite a bit about the Brotherhood of Steel, which is never a bad thing.
Right. You are not to speak the name of an outcast in the walls of the Citadel. Is that understood?
I understand.
Dr. Lee.
Collect my wits
But the
and figure out what to do.
stolen a great deal of our uncatalogued equipment.
Okay.
I am beginning to run short of supplies for repair.
Citadel Lab Terminal. AVF problem. Recent experiments with accelerated vector fusion have not gone according to plan. All scribes assigned to the lab should check with Scribe Rothschild on a daily basis and obtain any modified technical parameters as needed. Warning, leaky hydraulics. It has come to our attention that several scribes have slipped on hydraulic fluid near the eastern end of the robot lift. Until the offending pipes can be mended completely, please use caution in that area. Interesting. Scribe.
Did you have any success with that old terminal?
Yes. Vault 87 has a GEC, but I don't know where it is. No, yes we do. I need to know how to get in.
Ah, well, that much I believe I can help with. Step over here for a moment. I'll show you where it is.
Yes, but...
This map shows the locations of all known vaults in the local area. Vault 87 has been highlighted for you. There. Entrance to Vault 87 will be particularly difficult for you, I'm afraid.
Okay, what's difficult about it?
The area is highly irradiated. Lethal levels are all around the entrance. Gaining direct access will be quite impossible.
Well, there's got to be another way.
You share your father's determination, it seems. And in this case, you are correct. There may well be another way. Vault 87 is located very close to the site of Lamplight Caverns. It is entirely probable that the vault may be entered from within the caves.
Well, I guess it's time to find out. I'll go there myself.
The Brotherhood simply cannot spare the resources necessary to investigate the area. Perhaps you may be more successful. If you do find anything, please return here so that we may decide how best to proceed.
Thanks for your help.
I wish we could do more, but the Brotherhood potentially faces a very pressing, very real threat in the Enclave. All of my efforts must now be devoted to assessing the threat they may pose to us. I'm sure you understand.
Absolutely. All right. Armored up. Let's go, Star Paladin.
Welcome. The Brotherhood is at your service.
And out into the courtyard. October 1st. Okay, picking up the trail. Search Lamplight Caverns to find a way into Vault 87. Stealing Independence. Head of State, not of this world, and the local flavor.
I don't think that Paladin Gunny would be very happy with Sonny Jackson.
That's a good thing I'm not an outsider, isn't it? Alright. We have several things that we need to do. But gathering allies is probably going to be one of the most important. So while we need to get to Vault 87, I think we need to rally the slaves. And one good way of doing that is to make sure that the Lincoln Memorial is free of super mutants. While we're there, we can also steal Independence. So it looks like we're going to be heading in to DC again. And now, with a new companion at our side, things may be getting interesting. And it's a great place to end the episode for today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd like to thank you for tuning in today to part 34 of Let's Roleplay Fallout 3. In the next one, we're going to hike into the city again and hopefully figure out a way back to the Washington Monument. We're probably going to need to come on back all the way to either the Tepid Sewers or the DuPont Station, because the Enclave is simply too much to handle at the moment. And with that being said, if you enjoy the type of content that we put out here, please consider following me here on twitch.tv/JeffTheNarrator469. Or if you prefer, Wow.
More for the Brotherhood. There is a foul stench on the wind. Let us not tarry for long.
Let's not. Oh, but what was I gonna say? Oh, but if you prefer YouTube, you can always find me there as Jeff the Narrator. We're gonna make the crossing by the old Anchorage Memorial, and then I think that'll be more than enough to allow us access into the city. Oh. Hard times. Hard times. Hopefully we've got enough ammo to get us through. But until next time, when we join Henry and Star Paladin Cross in their new adventures as a squad of 2, I'll leave you with this. As always, keep telling stories. Yes, be vigilant and keep telling stories.